No, okay, and I'm on my laptop this time, so it'll go perfectly. Um, okay, so I noticed the handout that she sent us this time around, and it was quite expensive. Did y'all get a chance to go over it? Handout three.
Yes, we need to do activity before the hangout tree meeting, no? The presentation and the puzzle and things like that. No?
Where it says go to the following presentation before the meeting. So before we meet here. We're supposed to have done the presentation um, and just answered those questions if we had any questions on that.
Okay.
Um,
So we can start to say the question and everybody say that we can.
yeah, I mean, I can start off by saying I had never seen like this piece of artwork before. Um, now we know. Where's my? Yeah, I'd never seen anything like this before, and I couldn't figure out what it was saying. I tried looking up different things and trying to like decipher the code, but I couldn't understand like what the message was trying to say. But I did find out later that it was representing like a story of an emperor, of a past emperor, um, and that it was like the that was just one example of how they kept a record of their knowledge and stuff. The indigenous peoples kept a record of their knowledge. And I thought that was pretty cool. Although it was pretty tough to like figure out what they were trying to say. Did y'all like figure it out in the first try, or have y'all ever seen that before?
I'm having a little problems with my connection, but I will fix it.
Okay. Um, y'all know which one I'm referring to? The picture. Hold on. If I can share my screen. Can you see that? But yeah, I've never seen that before. I didn't know what it was. Um, and then, yeah, I couldn't figure it out. Could y'all like figure it out, or have y'all seen that before?
I never see before, but I think that are like hieroglyphics, and I think that are saying like a message super important about what happened at that moment, or like a story. I never seen before, only in history class, but I think that are like the Egypt hieroglyphics.
Yeah, me neither. Like I've never seen that before, and the message, or like I think it's a story, um, but I don't I don't know what message is transmitting.
Right, right. Yeah, I know it was like hieroglyphics of some sort, but yeah, I couldn't decipher it for the life of me. I couldn't. I was like, well, is that a house? Is that a cart? Is it going uphill, going downhill? I saw trees, like cycle of trees, and I was like, oh, is that like a tree growth cycle or something? But yeah, I was just like, what the heck? I've never seen that before. But yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I also think that I haven't seen something like this before. Well, I think like well, here in Mexico, we all ever seen like some kind of drawings from that period, but nothing like this. I think this is like it's like kind of a recipe for doing something. Well, that's what kind of in of I'm trying to understand this drawing, so I think it's kind of like a recipe for doing something.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't even know, like back then, like I was trying to like go through the mindset of what they were thinking back then and how all this looked like back then. It was just super interesting to me. But continuing forward, so the second one was the video, the ED puzzle, and those. I mean, have y'all had trouble with the puzzle videos? Are y'all aware of them? Or have y'all done it before?
No, I don't have problem. I think like it's really easy, no?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. But for me, like I was because it gave me multiple choice or like multiple answers. Well, I thought it was multiple answers. I chose multiple answers. My professor, he was like, "No, it's just one answer." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Why did you give us the multiple choice then? Or like multiple answer then?" He was like, "It's just the way it is." I was like, "Okay." Yeah.
Yes, I think that was also confusing for me. I had the same problem as you.
Yes, but this one was really easy because it's only open questions, and the others we need to choose one answer. Of, I think that I can choose three or two.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, "Is she really gonna grade it? Is she really gonna like look at them and do all that?" But okay, yeah, it was better for sure. Open ended. I like that. Um, and then I'll take a head me on that one. Oh, this one. Um, did y'all by chance get a symbol? And then do this exercise?
I don't really understand it, but
Yeah,
I only put that hieroglyphic symbol and significate, and that's. I think like I choose like a bird and a person and say that it's like uh, she is caring of a person and things like I don't understand it really well.
yeah. For me, it was worded kind of weird too. After spending some time with it, I did understand it a little bit, but still, it was kind of tough for me. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but oh, I did this one, the Jaguar Hill. Um, let me see if I can. Okay, okay, and I did a little background research on the Jaguar Hill. That it was like it's a hill where the jaguars would roam. In that day, near Santo Domingo. I don't know where that's. I mean, do y'all know where that's at? I should have googled it, but I had no idea where that's at. Domingo de Juantepec is a city and municipality um, in the state of Oaxaca. But yeah, I had no idea like that symbol is what that meant and where like that was. Um, and then like it was that little town was basically that municipality was basically it was a matriarchal society run by women. Culturally, of course, politically, it was back then. So it was a patriarchal society from the political view of things, but in the cultural sense, like all the women ran the day-to-day operations. It was pretty cool to learn all that information and that it wasn't just like what I've been told, like very machismo and very like well, my dad was born in Jalpa, Zacatecas, so like it's very like, oh yeah, men did everything and this and that, and, like women did nothing. but like to learn like they actually, they ran a whole town. They ran the trades, they ran the money, the accounting, they ran everything. Like I was just like my eyes were just open. I was like, oh wow, pretty cool.
Yeah, I did the same one, the Teguantepec, and I found that
Nice.
it's like a cultural center for artists and photographers for
Hmm.
his way of representing the one woman or something like that.
Hmm. Juan, Pauline, did y'all do hieroglyphic or
I
anything
yes,
like
sorry.
that?
Yes, I picked the one of the footprint, and I've been looking for information, but I don't really found something. But I think it's like I don't know. It's a little bit confusing. Uses a foot over blue circle to correct the of viewpoint. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Wait a minute. Mm, Well, I don't really know what this means, but I would say that it means like for when they I don't know when they were going to explore some places and they see for other footprints. Well, that's what I can say.
And Pauline, did you get anything? Any hieroglyphs?
I don't really understand that activity, so um, I don't know because I don't really understand it. So I choose like Ana Mochitlan, place of Mochil, and it's like four petal flowers, and is like sits on the top of a temple symbol and prepares flowers to Guamochil. Oh, he's really pretty. Oh, it's uh I don't know, man or I know I don't know
Yeah,
how
she's
to say.
she's a girl. Yeah, her name's Lily. Yeah, she wanted to join me. I was like, come here, come say hi to
Oh,
him.
she's really pretty.
Yeah, she's super sweet. Um, let's if y'all want to continue going forward. Um, let me share my screen again. Hmm, okay, so part two was the castle, the caste system of Mexico. Is really weird as well. Um, let's see. It was this one, this painting. Um, and yeah, I was just asking us what we thought of it, and I was thinking like to portray and stuff. What are y'all thoughts? What are y'all's thoughts on this painting, or what do y'all think it is?
Well, I think it's like the kind of how it was the education in that period that the father is well he punished the his kid and the mom is like trying to make him a little bit happy. So that's what I thought for this painting, that the father uh, took took a punishment for the kid and the mother is trying to to calm the kid.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. At first glance, I thought it was a mom and dad too. And I also asked myself the same question: was like, is this like a father kind of like a maid, or are they together? I had that question, but my first inclination was that they were together, they were married. Um, and I also noticed what he was wearing. It's very like European, very European style, um, kind of dress. And then she's in a more like, I would say, in like indigenous attire. And then he is, of course, the child is dressed as more of like a European style kind of clothing as well. I thought that was pretty interesting.
So, do you think that it could be the son of them, or just like she's taking care of the kid?
It could be that, yeah, as well. But it's it's art. It's up to interpretation. It depends on what you think it looks like. But yeah,
Well,
that's what I was trying to say too. Like it could be like that they're this is a mom and dad and they're taking care of the kid, or it could be like um that's like a caregiver for him, taking care of him. But obviously he does like care, like he doesn't reach for the dad. He obviously reaches for either his mom or his caregiver. So like he has more of a connection to her than he does to him, and his father's just like looking at him like, oh, like cut it out, kind of glance. What do y'all
yes,
think?
yes, I also think that they are his mom and dad.
Me too. I think that is like a mom and dad, and they are kind of dressed very formally, but isn't from this era, and it seems like from other era. Apart from the fact that is already looks like an old painting, because it look more worn out. And now I don't know, because I think like the dress of the woman seems like, I don't know, no, like formally like the child and the man.
Yeah, I think it's like a family, and I noticed the clothes and the fit because it seems like the dress of the mom looks weird. I don't know. It's something I've never seen before.
Yeah, it's definitely out of place as well. Let me see. Next one. Getting information. Okay. Las Castas. Let me see if I can. Okay. And so for Las Castas, I did find out that the painting that we just saw uh, was basically the paintings of, I believe it was 1800s portrayal of the caste system there in Mexico. And I mean, what is the word? Let me ask you all this. What does the word mestizo mean to y'all?
I don't know really the difference because there are mestizo and criollo. I think
Mm-hmm.
one of them is like when mestizo, when, for example, the man is a European man, the mother is the indigenous, and the son is from mother indigenous and European father, but I don't know which one is that, if mestizo or criollo. And the
I
other
think it's
one,
mestizo.
Yeah, it's
and which one is
mestizo.
criollo? And which one is criollo?
Criollo, I think it's if the parents are European, but and the son born in somewhere
Uh,
somewhere
Yes, yes.
I
Criollo
think
is
it's like that.
when yes, criollo is when both of the parents are European, but he was born in other country, like in Mexico. That's criollo. And mestizo is when he have one one parent European and the other one indigenous.
Mhm. And so I was asking that because I was reading like mestizo was culturally like um I don't know about now, but culturally back then mestizo was equivalent to saying like what is this? Mestizo was culturally equivalent to calling someone a bad word. Like just saying like, oh, you're less than, because you're a mestizo, you're crossbreeding with indigenous. What are you doing? You're Spanish, you're from motherland or whatever. And I was like, okay, like I wonder if like that connotation, like if it's still thought in like in a negative light today in like modern Mexico, like the society in itself. It's like, does someone take offense if they're called like a mestizo or something? Or it's just not generally used in language.
No, we don't use that term. Never.
Right, right. Okay. I was thinking it's like culturally dated probably. Or if like
No, it's just like a cultural term that we know, but we don't use it
yeah,
for anything.
yeah. And I was looking at all these like different terms like that they would use back in the day. Like well they had of course you're like españoles, peninsulars, criollos, indios, mestizos, castizos, cholos, padros, mulattoes, zambos, negros, and I believe that's what that ends. But I was like, wow, it's just so many like different mixes of people back then. It's crazy to me. It was insane, like so many different cultures in one place. But yeah, I mean, what do y'all think?
I think
Yes.
that sorry. Yes.
No, 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 you go first.
Yeah, I think that that types of terms and like crollo and mestizo and things like that, we used to identify and separate the case because I think that in that moment the Españoles think that to be a indigenous is like a really I don't know like a poor person, I think like that, and they don't want to see it like that, so they use that types of terms to identify that I'm not an indigenous, I am a Creole, I am a mestizo.
Yes, and I also believe that they invented that, well, those terms to also classify the people, no? Like to classify if you are a high society person or a low society person, like in everything.
And so that's still like a thing today. As far as like a caste, is it still let's say it's not like it's more of like a free enterprise. It's more like you can still work your way up the ladder. But there is still like the more you know, the better. Like that kind of caste system to where like if you're rich in Mexico, like you're starting off better in a good foot, just like America, or just like the United States. If you're rich, you have more resources to to gain more wealth. Um, but and so in kind of a sense, it's like more of a capitalistic caste system. And of a sorts. Like, is it like that in Mexico? Like, where I don't know. Like, is it hard to move up the ladder in Mexico? Like, is it like as far as socially or as far as like economically, or is it easy or?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Like, is it easier to like move up the ladder, or like is it easier to get a good job in Mexico, or is it harder to get like a good job in Mexico because it's um like is it like
Uh,
available to a lot of people, or is it only available like to a few select people?
well, I would say that it is available for every people, but
Okay.
well, it's true that your economical position influences a lot in how hard it is to get a job for you. For example, it also the if you went to a private university here in Mexico, it's like easier to get a job than if you went to a public university, because here in Mexico, well, it's like just few public universities are like good ones, but most of private university are the best ones. So if you graduate from a private university, it's easier to get a job. Only for the university. It doesn't matter if you get better grades or if you get like more recognitions. Only for the university, it's easier to get a job.
Yes, I think like Juan Pablo, because um I don't think that it's harder to get a job here if you are studying in a private school, because
Mm.
the industries choose you more than other persons who comes from other university. Well, in if you comparing with other private universities, I think that the more recognized or where you pay more are more easier to get a job. But in like USA, you can work in anything, and it's better than here in Mexico.
Mm.
And I also think that the university had a big influence in how much you get paid. If you graduate from a private university, you are going to get, well, like a better pay than if you graduate from a public university.
Good to know.
How how is that in USA?
Yeah, it's very accessible to everyone. Um, I mean, there are people out there, of course, that are saying like, "Oh, it's hard to get up, it's hard to move up, it's hard to get, scholarships and this and that." But it's very accessible. Like they give money out. I mean, of course, we have a student loan debt crisis, um, and that's a whole other issue to get into. But I think as far as like getting a associate's here, a 2-year degree here in the States, um, financial aid for say poor districts or like lower socioeconomic students, um, it's easier. Um, it's a little bit harder for those that are better off, like that have two parents that make, um, I think the cap is at $45,000. It's hard to get scholarships and hard to get financial aid. But financial aid is like they actually give money to students here to go to school. I mean, it's awesome. It's great. And then if they want to go to a 4-year university, they'll give them a certain amount of money too. So I think it's like it's there if you want it, but you have to be self motivated. I don't think there's like really any barriers to it. You just have to be self motivated and want to do it. It's there if you want it, and yeah. It's saying to me right now that we have less than a minute left in the recording. I don't know why it's charging me, or like it's telling me to upgrade but I might need to send you another link right now to restart another meeting. Um, can I go ahead and do that now? I think we just need to talk about the project and then we'll be done. So it's probably another 10 minutes. Is that cool?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, good.
I'll send that right now.